Hello again, and welcome back to Desmond Souls, to Demonic Souls. Excuse me, sorry, that's such a great way to start. Um, Clearly, as you can see, especially if you're coming straight from the prior episode, I'm wielding a different weapon before, and perhaps my health bar even looks a little bigger, and perhaps my stamina bar looks a little bigger. It's very weird, very weird. A lot of differences. I know change is scary. Okay, come on. Get your throat. Work with me. So, I did some stuff in between now and the last session, and we're gonna go over that real quickly, just so you can understand the power level of this character. Because I did do what you might call a little off-screen farming, among other things. So mainly, my goal was not too many levels. I basically wanted to get enough levels so that we could not die during recording. I wanted a competent, strong character. I didn't want to over level so that we're powering through everything. Still want a little challenge, but this is mostly a playthrough to appreciate the game. So of course that's my priority, and can't do that if we're dying left and right. So as you can see from the stats, I don't remember what level we were when we finished 1-2, but this is for your comparison. As you can see, you got 20 vitality and endurance, feels very nice, and 23 strength and dex, because as I stated before, quality build is our goal. And so level 48. So whatever we were before, we're 48 now. The other thing is some changes in the weapons. As you can see, the kite shield is 6+. I farmed a lot of upgrade materials from the gooey boys in 1-1, and I was able to bring this to 6+, which gives it a really nice guard break reduction. I want to max it because I want to stick with this shield because I like it. It's very sleek, nice design. And then this is the winged spear. It's what we'll be using today. The winged spear is a thrusting pokey weapon. It's got good range. I really like its moveset, if only for it being a little slow. But it's going to be very helpful today where we're going. There are some other things here. I think this was 3+ in the last episode because I used this to kill the dragon. Long sword is all the same, 3+, I believe. And then there's this. So, pay no attention to the fact that this is infused with holy or blessed, because we're going to be taking that away. But this is one of the other things I did in between now and the last episode, is that I went to one other area, well, actually two, to pick up, just this, really. I didn't pick up anything else, and I remember the location of it, so when we're in that area and we get to that point where I picked up the Blessed Mace, then we will talk about the Blessed Mace being there, because I think there are some lore implications about it. But it is the only place I could get a mace, and I wanted, for the versatility of this character, I wanted each damage type, basically. So with the longsword, what is the longsword damage type? Oh, maybe it doesn't list it in this game. Okay, the longsword does, as far as I understand, either normal and thrust with some of its poking attacks, or it does slash and thrust, which is all good and nice. Blunt with the Blessed Mace, which will be very useful for certain areas. It's not going to be blessed, remember. So, in fact, by the time we're done with 2-1, this will be a regular mace, so it's just physical. And then we have the winged spear, of course, which is, I think, all thrusting damage, but it will be very helpful for where we're going. So that's what we're going to be using today. So that is pretty much everything I did between now and the prior episode. There's a few small things I want to talk about before we get right into 2-1. For one, of course, Oscar. I call him Oscar. Ugh, I'm getting ahead in games again. We have Ostrava here, and we already talked to him in the last episode, so we don't need to talk to him again. But I wanted to talk about him being the fact that he's here. So he is. I don't think you can come here unless you are trapped by the Nexus, of course. You know, contracted to help fight the Scourge. This occurrence of the Scourge, the Demon Scourge, this awakening of the Old One. So he, just like many other heroes, such as ourself, came to this land, or perhaps he was already here, since we know he is related to the king. He may have been already here and died in some way and was recruited by the Nexus, but he's tough enough that he's in body form right now. He's not in soul form. So he is one of the recruited people. We have met... Everyone here has to have been recruited by the Nexus, except for maybe the Maiden and the actual Monumental. We met Dregling, who, as far as we know, has nothing to do with this place, doesn't even know it exists, perhaps. I think everyone else we've met has been strictly a Nexus person, or a Nexus trapped person. Although he doesn't seem to mind too much, since his goals already kind of align with this place's goals. Now, what was it? That's right. One more thing I wanted to talk about. So, as we've been leveling, our stats have been growing. We've been using souls to get stronger. Recall what Crestfallen Merchant Man, not Merchant Man, he's not a merchant, but Crestfallen Man said, which is that we have fallen for their trap. We're doing exactly what the Monumental, wants us to do, which is, gaining souls and getting stronger. The same kind of path someone would follow to becoming a demon, as far as I believe we've established that at this point, especially with both demons we've faced in 1-1 and 1-2 being associated with people that Ostrava knew of and named for us. I don't recall their names. I think Alfred the Tower Knight, and I forget the name of the Legion of Archers that is likely Phalanx. Or Phalanx. I think I realized I was pronouncing it wrong the whole time. I think it's Phalanx. I don't know why that's so hard for me. But so we're going down a similar path. We're using souls to get stronger and to keep ourselves from going soul starved, soul mad. Now, the concept is what I'm interested in, though. I keep doing that. I keep going to that one. The idea of, instead of, training up our strength and dex by doing a lot of fighting practice like you would in real life, we are using souls to kind of cheat. Because we were a knight, and oh, I'm about to sneeze, so it's gonna... Oh, excuse me. Sorry for that peak. I don't know how loud that was. I hope it wasn't too bad. Alright. But we're kind of cheating, and I mean, this is at the core concept of, soul power. This is why it's so appealing. It's like skipping the hard work in mastering a skill. Now, the idea of the soul being the life essence of someone, and being able to take those things And with someone who is skilled enough of making use of them, like the Maiden in Black, she can repurpose those things to increase our strength, or whatever we wish. But the thing that's really interesting to me is what exactly that can mean. Because I think it's simple enough to, like, we're using the life force to increase our muscles. That's why strength goes up. So we can lift heavier things, we're stronger, and so forth. That's simple. Vitality is the same, and endurance. Endurance being your stamina, your energy. And then vitality being like your ability to take hits, your raw durability. And then from there out, the rest of these are where it starts to get kind of weird to think about. So let's see, intelligence, right? Intelligence affects MP, which is our mana, and our capacity to remember spells. Now, if we ignore the direct description of that, since it's a bit, it's more mechanically focused than anything, the idea of we can use souls to increase our intelligence, that one is not super far-fetched. What would that maybe do? Maybe that would expand our ability to recall information a bit, as well as our ability to, like, interpret, new things we see and understand them faster. Just, like, across the board, like, we're generally, like, a smarter character. That one is still not too far-fetched, because it's just, like, it's like upgrading the brain. It's a little weirder than turning souls into pure muscle or something like that, but the brain is a muscle, as some people say, so it's not too far-fetched. And then there's dexterity. And dexterity, this isn't something that comes with, like, physicality. This is also kind of a brain thing. A dexterous thing to do would be able to do, like, acrobatics, or to juggle, or to do something very very demanding and precise with your hands, like literally threading a needle, like very precise activities like that. And so perhaps using souls for dexterity increases your focus in the moment. So if you're wielding a weapon that is not so straightforward to wield, it has a very unique move set. I suppose that could increase your ability to stay cool when doing so, and your precision. If you're firing like a bow, something like that. That one's a little more vague, but that could also be summed up to, like, aspects of the brain that it is, like, increasing. So still not too bad. These bottom four are where it gets into, I think, the actual weirdness. So magic affects spell power. So this affects the damage of if you're doing sorcery. What about the body this is? No clue. This is like, I don't think I can come up with a reasonable answer for this. I guess, so you cast magic with a catalyst in this game. I think we have one catalyst that we got in 1-2. Let's go look at that, actually. Hey, Thomas.
Hello again. I'm keeping a close watch on your belongings. Rest assured.
You best be, brother. Show me the shit. There we are. Wooden catalyst. And yeah, this is the tutorial one. The most basic tool for using spells. So not much information there. Maybe if we get another catalyst,
You have a heart of gold. Don't let them take it from you.
We'll learn a little more about that. Now, magic, at least again, this is information I can't recall if we've learned or not, or if I'm knowing this from other playthroughs or other videos I've watched, so bear with me if I'm hitting something we haven't learned through a description or dialogue yet, but magic is something from within, you know. Clearly you need a certain level of magic and intelligence to be able to cast certain spells. You need enough intelligence to have the mana, or I guess the store of magical energy within you to cast it. And then you need the magic, which is like if intelligence is the ammunition, then magic, I guess, is the function. If like the actual mechanism of the gun that fires the magic. But what that means, what that actually enhances about your body, I guess there is some part of the body that is responsible for your ability to output these things. You need a catalyst to focus it, so maybe it's there naturally, but you need the tool to make finer intentional use of it. But that is pretty much, maybe without any more spells or any more magic people to talk to. That is I think the best we can say for now. And then there's faith. This one is kind of funny to me, the idea of faith, increasing your faith. So what is faith in real life? Faith is your belief in something, whether or not you have the evidence to back it, I believe. You have faith in a person, whether based on prior experience with them or the word of others, and reputation that they will come through on something, whether it's just being the same old reliable person they are, or their ability to perform a certain task or art. You know, it's a very broad use term, and then you put it in the case of religion, and you apply it to your how you look at God as an entity. You know, you have faith, one, that he's real, two, that he's got your best interests in mind, and that he's keeping an eye on this world, and he has, you know, maybe he has a plan for it, something like that. Increasing this, oh boy, what that could mean. Maybe affects miracle power, capacity to remember miracles, and defense against magic. So maybe the idea is that increasing your faith helps you to dissuade any doubts you have. It helps your... It could be another, like, it affects a part of the brain that allows you to be more steadfast in your faith, to be more fully committed in your faith. And so that's my best guess. Lastly, luck. Oh, luck. Lucky, lucky luck. Affects item drop rate and plague resistance. Luck. Oh man, what to even say about luck? Maybe the idea is luck is a man. If demon souls or souls in general can alter things that weren't alterable or weren't able to be altered prior to them being available to us to manipulate, then I suppose the invisible factor of luck that humans may or may not place faith and belief in, I mean, maybe it is real. So maybe because this is a fantastical universe, you know, luck as a concept could exist. It just, we don't know in what true capacity, at least not without another, like, some kind of confirmation from an item description or something like that. The idea of increasing your luck, just, you know, it's almost like buffing up a guardian angel that you have that's looking out for you, so to say. But it doesn't affect the kind of things that you would in real life if you were to be lucky. The way Domino in Deadpool comics or the Deadpool movie has, where she's just lucky. She doesn't get hit when she probably should have. Doesn't affect those things, but maybe in a role play sense you could say it does. Here it's just item drop, right? So it's your chance to find nice things, and it's your chance to avoid getting plagued, whatever that status effect does, which sounds horrible, but you could say in a place where it's easy to get plagued with sickness, avoiding that better than other people could be considered lucky. But anyway, so that's all the stats. What it exactly means to increase some of these things, I doubt we're gonna get more concrete answers on. But either way, I think it's interesting. I think the idea of sort of cheating life by increasing these things, some of which may be stuff you could achieve by naturally increasing them yourself, some of which are just these invisible factors that you have no hand in, like luck, or even like stuff like vitality, like durability. It really isn't something you have perfect control over as a human. Alright, well, with that settled, let's start digging into 2-1. Now, as I said before, we were going to take a look at this statue. So, we don't need to talk about... No. Well, a little grass for good luck. We don't need to talk about the sun and the moon and the book and the tree and the wings. Can you stop wobbling? It's really bothering me. We mostly just need to talk about this little piece of symbolism here. Now, this one is a bit more difficult to determine the specifics of. Okay, armor. Shut up while I'm talking. So, same kind of shape as a symbol over there, including even this little cutoff part at the top. But we have he looks very much like a dwarf, almost like well, you can't see him from here, but our blacksmith, you know what he looks like, our bald man, our bald win. He has a hammer, of course, and it looks like he's just kind of holding up his fist. I don't know, his hand looks very odd there, but it might just be the lack of detail from this imagery. Not sure if this is something next to him. Could be like another piece of blacksmith equipment of some kind, but again, like just from the detail, it's kind of hard to see. He has what are these called? A circlet or a ringlet? I don't know what exactly what these would be, but these are usually a sign of royalty or like upper class stuff, and that makes sense because this is the elder of World 2, and so he would be the equivalent of the king of this area. There's this, which is interesting. I don't know if this is... I don't think this is like something on his chest. This looks like something on a pedestal. And he's got mining equipment as he's poised around it. To me, this could be a couple things. This kind of looks like an egg. A Fabergé egg. No, I mean, it looks like a special egg. It could also be a maybe like a scale of some kind. Um, Hard to say, but maybe we'll get some more context to see what exactly this this refers to. But interesting. I'm leaning towards it's a scale. I don't know why he would have an egg, but there's a chance because I can think of some things we're gonna see. Now down here we have an array of blacksmiths, a like big like a big wall of fire, and a sword, and they're all chipping away at it. Even though that sword doesn't look so good. I don't know if that's erosion of the archstone, not the sword itself, but it does look like it's an eroded sword. So either they're repairing one, they're in the middle of forging one. But yeah, that's all the direct imagery except for whatever this is behind him. That could be a big door. Not sure. Those could also be scales, like scale mail armor, or just to represent armor because we've got a weapon down here, and this kind of looks like, you know, a like maybe chainmail. I don't think I can really say. That could be just flavor. Since this was made following the original Scourge, part of my guess would be maybe this is to represent reforging what once was of World 2, or Stonefang Mine, as we will come to know it. The world, like all the others, probably went through a lot in the first Scourge, and so this is a good way maybe to represent trying to achieve what we once were as a people, as a mining, a smithing group. But that's about all I can see from this. The only other detail I really notice, he's got some earrings and stuff, but then, I mean, that's typical of like a leadership role, to be finely adorned like that. I don't know if that's supposed to be hair or if these guys are clothed up, but I don't think it has any significant relevance. I think it's just what they look like from behind. Alright. Put the armor back on. Looking nice and snazzy. Touch the archstone of the Burrow King. Burrow King. Well, this is a mine, so I guess Burrow King could be a way to refer to someone who really what's the word I'm looking for? Like gets has made a home out of the like innards of the earth, or whatever planet we're on, or whatever world. Someone who both like navigates, clears out, and yeah, like I said, like calls these underground areas home. So that's, I mean, that as either a nickname or official title makes good sense. Here we are, Stonefang Tunnel, City of the Burrowers. Oh, so maybe Burrow King because they're all referred to generally as Burrowers. Keepers, City of the Burrowers, keepers of the huge tunnel. I guess we'll be going into a huge tunnel. Most of the stubborn excavators who supported the soldiers of Boletaria had their souls taken. Lacking their own will, they mindlessly continue working. Similar to what we saw with the guard force in Boletaria, even when soul-starved, it seems like these guys just keep up with maybe whatever their last significant goal was, which is mining and, as we're going to see, likely defending their mine. So with that, I think we're ready to go. So let me take a quick bathroom break. Okay, we are back. Let's hop right in to 2-1 Stonefang Mine. I might, never mind. Alright, let's get in there. And here we are. Very, very different from... Ignore my spear poking through the wall. Very different from the prior areas we've been to. It's interesting, there's a lot of dust in the air. But with all the mining going on, maybe that makes sense. Maybe that's kicked up from some of the lower mine shafts, or maybe this is just a very stinky canyon. But, we can see we're on the outer rampart, I think is the right word. The outer rampart of some kind of structure. The archstone is here by this. This looks like a gravestone. That's not a very good view of it. This looks like a gravestone. I don't know that it is. Oh, those look like S's. Can I determine anything from this? I think this might be made up language or gibberish, but this could be a lot of things. This could be a something like what happens in real life if like a lot of people die in a place in an unfortunate way. Sometimes they will construct a plaque nearby the location as like a form of honor for those that have passed in the area, especially in like big incidents, like big occurrences of unintended loss of life. This could also be a founder's plate of some kind, like when the post the first scourge, maybe when this place was founded. This was erected as a founded with the support of these people for the intention of this to jittering a bit to serve the Kingdom of Boletaria. It's like #1 mine or something like that. This is the only mine we're going to go to, so I assume this is the primary mine that serves Boletaria. But yeah, it could be either of those things, and maybe there's some more things it could be, but those are my favorite speculations on what it could be. Which of those two I like more? I don't know. To me, it seems more likely that this is a celebration of the opening of the mine or something like that. Maybe even from before the first scourge. This is the original one. It's pretty eroded, but we can't say for certain. And what this little downward spot is here, I'm not sure. But from here, we can see our surrounding environments and an item and a big ball of gas in the sky. This is much more of an arid valley, almost, or a, I guess this is more of a canyon. I don't know if there's an exact difference, but be my guess. What can we see over here? So there's a little bridge crossing, an outpost maybe here of some kind. I'm sure there's a road on the other side, but we can't see it. And the bridge here, and then a small... This could be a fort, or a small nearby city, maybe like a mining town to house anyone, because I doubt, barring emergencies, people are really sleeping on the regular inside the mine. That would be very uncomfortable. And then another tower here. This could be a lookout tower as well, because if this place has valuable resources, then it would make sense to have for it to have some nearby fortifications, where it to be like raided and stripped of its resource by like an enemy nation or something like that. This place also does have pretty similar geography to what we saw around Boletaria, if only a bit more arid. So maybe this is a bit south of Boletaria. I don't have the map pulled up, so I don't know if that makes sense geographically. But this could be not too far from Boletaria. Maybe those distant roads we saw leaving the town underneath the bridge in 1-2 actually lead to this area. But anyways, alright, we'll talk about all this in a minute. We have a lizard to kill, and the big loud explosion might. Oh no. Is this a bad weapon for this? Oh, okay. The R2 worked. Nice, and some shards of sharpstone. A little bit of a better view here. Entrance to the mine over there, as well as some hastily constructed platforms, an unactivated lift, and a slightly better view of the same things, but probably nothing new we could derive from them. I'm pretty confident also that this is a watch post of some kind. Given its high position, it would have a really good lay of the land up there. Now over here, got another dead horse and carriage. Similar to the ones we saw in Boletaria, so maybe this is part of a supply chain for this place. And then over here we have a box of actually like rocks or minerals, or maybe that's, it looks like rocks. You could say this is a shipment of materials maybe, although it's coming from this cart, I imagine, this destroyed cart this way, so maybe this is something else. Maybe this is something you can't get here that they need to help with their mining process. Maybe coal, something like that. And destroy all that. And we have a cutoff here. And a soul. A carriage in a Mission Impossible-esque movie moment that would involve Tom Cruise freehand climbing up the side of this carriage to make sure that he does not die, and then when he gets right off it would fall. It would be all dramatic and cool. We have a can't really see too much of it, but like a pathway leading this way. This might be maybe a road towards Boletaria, given the seemingly empty direction it's coming from. And this carriage has the bars as well as like a big box shape. So either it carries a lot of cargo, but the bars, they really make me want to say that this is this may have been carrying slaves, possibly, to help work in the mine. Not 100% sure, but given we've already seen slaves with the Dreglings in 1-1, 1-2, it's very possible that they were sending slaves to work in the mine. Can't say for sure. This could also carry just like a ton of supplies. It's a pretty big carriage, but it didn't make it. We can see a remnant of the bridge support that was once here, and what knocked it over, I don't know. Maybe the construction was poor from the beginning. It's just poor maintenance, because there doesn't seem to be any baddies over here, and no sign of any dragons, so who knows? Maybe the miners themselves used some explosives to clear it out when the first scourge happened, to try to stave off the demons from seeping out from Boletaria and making their way over here. Anyways. There's a man here. There's a man who is... Oh, sheesh. The picture of beauty. Just a joy to see someone like this in the flesh. He's got little scabs and bumps and wounds and cuts and dry, calloused skin. He's a little yellow. That may be an effect of he's on his way to soul starvedom. He's not doing all that hot, and one eye that looks no good. And he's surrounded by rocks, trash. There is a spilt minecart here, so this could be a mineral of some kind. As well as got these little things here. Oh look, this is like a wheelbarrow. a little weird wheelbarrow, but I don't know anything about ancient wheelbarrows. Maybe that's normal. He's got a little fire for himself, even though it's hot. It's probably hot as balls out here. But maybe he's a little cold. Maybe he's hungry, so he's cold. And it is a nice detail that he is using these, I guess, bags of flour? Maybe? Bags of flour for food as like a little seat. So that's something. We'll talk to him in a second. Here we can see the elevator we should totally be able to pass or climb onto because we are powerful, strong nightmen. And we can hear, it sounds like Baldwin or someone clanging away at something, but can't be sure yet. Can't be sure till we see it. Let's talk to this guy. What's up, guy?
Hello there, souls. Souls. I trade fine goods for souls.
Well, guess what I got, buddy? I got lots of souls. This is the Filthy Man. And sure, he probably has a name. Maybe he can't recall it after all this time in this horrible post-apocalyptic environment. Nonetheless, he lives up to the name. He does look quite filthy, doesn't he? I was going to say, looking at his very, like, rigid hair. I know it's a limitation of the times, but when I saw this, I always kind of interpret it as he doesn't really have a proper place to bathe, anything like that. And so it's a combination of, like, dust and dirt and sweat and dandruff all working together to make his hair a big, solid mass. That's probably very uncomfortable on the head. No good, you don't want that. But that's my interpretation of that, why his hair looks so weird. And what does he offer us? Ed's grinding stone and some crescent moon grass. I think we read this before, I believe. He offers us a nice unlimited supply of sharpstone and hardstone, very gracious of the game. And usually, you know, new players, they're probably going to play the worlds in order. That's a safe bet for the most part. And so if they're using a physical weapon, which is what many players will start with, it's very nice to have this guy right away so they can hop on upgrading their weapon to help keep up with the game a bit. We have a pickaxe. A pickaxe used by excavators for mining. Well, yeah, that's expected. Wasn't originally meant for combat, but the hard protrusion can be used like a rapier. That's a choice comparison, but sure, use that. A local specialty of Stonefang. Yes, pickaxes. I would figure pickaxes aren't just a specialty of Stonefang, they might be a staple of it. Standard issue, you could say, but sure enough. Let's talk.
Our little town. Well, it's a nice wee place. All those lizard-eyed townsfolk are busy tinkering with stone. And don't bother with old men like myself. Makes life rather easy for me. I can get away with anything. Thank you, Lord, for this golden opportunity.
Old man like yourself. Come on. Come on, buddy. You are a picture of health. Don't put yourself down like that.
Have you heard about that sparkling lizard? He's not easy to catch,
Oh, I know.
but he's got some fine stones.
Damn right he
and
does.
I know where his nest is.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I can't give it away.
Well, then why would you go and tell me that? You just mocking me? Something he said in the prior reply, the lizard-eyed folk. Whatever those are, I suppose it's something we might run into.
Thank you, Lord, for this golden opportunity.
And it seems just like the Dregling, he's quite happy to be one of the few sane people left, because I imagine it makes his life of pillaging and repurposing goods he finds very easy. Very, very easy.
Have you heard about
Oh,
his
okay.
and I?
Alright, we heard this already. What if I don't buy something from you?
You want to play? Well, you've got to pay. Don't you agree?
Yeah, you could say that. And what if I buy a little something from you? Buy a little crescent moon.
It's a pleasure doing business with you.
Nah, more upbeat. Now, I just noticed while we were talking to him, he does have a stick. You can kind of see it there. Just a stick. This could be a walking... This is probably a walking staff, but maybe it's also a little weapon for him. I'm not sure if you were to attack this guy. One, if he has enough health that he could aggro. Probably, but I'm not sure. And if he does, I'm not sure if that's what he wields. I would imagine he is going to be wielding a pickaxe if we were to attack him. Alright, well that is this little starting area here. Allow me to again go use the bathroom. Sorry, I always take all my meds right before starting one of these things, and so that makes me pee a lot. I should probably just stop mentioning it and just start doing cuts like normal. But oh boy. The welcoming party is here for us already. It's a great sign. Got a little dev message over here for ourselves. The next enemy is susceptible to pierce attacks. Well, if only we were smart and prepared for such things, that would be mighty convenient, wouldn't it, winged spear, my beloved? Alright. I don't know if that sound is glitching out or if that's just how the audio is stacked in the original game. The next enemy is susceptible to spells. Well, I'm not some kind of wizard coward. I'm a warrior. And I'm gonna get in there and fight. Oh my goodness. Give me this item. Sticky bite stuff ×2. Get me inside the building. Whew. Okay. Nice. Stop throwing boulders super loud. Turn this. I will talk about these things after we clear out some problems. A little elevator over here. What do we have here? A firecaster of some kind. Who thinks it's very funny to shoot fire at me. Very funny. He looks like he's got a little... It's not a whip. I don't know what it's called. It's the... Is it a switch? Is that what it's called? Or a swatch? Like, easier to use than a whip, but like shorter range. It's got the little tassels on the end of it. Very painful. He's also dressed very nicely compared to a lot of enemies we've seen, both in 1-1, 1-2. We did actually see one of these guys in 1-2, that's right, we saw one of them in the intro cutscene to the boss fight with Tower Knight. And now we actually have him. So let's deal. Get poked in your big butt. He's trying to slash me. Ugh. Ugh. I'll give you a little poke, buddy. Ugh. Didn't mean to kill that guy. Poke. And that's another one down. Now, in tow, we have our our little rock throwers. And, well, speaking of lizard-eyed, I think we've discovered what our filthy man was talking about. You can see even they have a little lizard tongue. I don't know if it goes in and out. I think it might just hang out like that. But, or is it, it's not like a lizard tongue, it's like a snake tongue? Maybe both have it, but it reminds me more of a snake tongue. This guy is also very bald. Keeping up the tradition of anything related to mining makes you bald, apparently. And he's mostly naked. Might be some support for my unpaid intern theory, if you want to call it that. And most importantly, you might notice that he's covered in, like, growths of some kind, but most of all, they look like scales. And I suppose if he is a lizard person of some kind, scales are not entirely out of the question. But for now, we'll have to see what that means when we have a little bit more information. Maybe that's just how these people are. But with all the weirdness going on with the whole scourge, it's hard to say. But this, that's why we got a spear. These guys are very resistant to blunt. These guys are very resistant to slash, I think, as well. Piercing is the number one thing. Cuts through these scales, and you can see it on the winged spirit mentions that I believe they work well against metal armor and hard scales. So we are well equipped. Now, can I get a good look at your face, buddy? I want to see your pretty lizard man face. There it is. Lizard-eyed, as stated. Messed up teeth, snake tongue, scales, of course, all over. Still got 5 toes, pretty good. And that hair, oh, he looks like Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy, with like single strings as hair. Maybe he had more hair at one point, and he started getting into mining, which is of course the nair of jobs. However, perhaps something unnatural is going on here, because he's still pretty human in a lot of ways, and maybe at one point he was. Maybe for whatever reason in this region, going soul-starved has a very different effect. Like taking away your hair and making you look like a armadillo. But either way, that is, I believe these are called scale miners, which makes sense. And then over here we have a what is called a fat official. He just looks big boned to me, but you know, it's the game's name for them. Come inside so we can get a better look at you, buddy. See, he's not that fat, because I can push him like a... Oh, that's creepy. I can push him like a sack of bread, not a sack of rocks. Sack of rocks would be heavy. So yeah, what do we got here? We got a very, fat official. This is a very official looking garb, and he's got that like big weird neck collar thing. That is a symbol of the upper class, I believe. Top hat. He does not. I don't think he has his weapon anymore, or it's like clipping into the floor or something like that. But we got a pretty good view of it while fighting him. What else we got here? We have this looks like a more proper whip. So he's got both the little short, quick use one, the close range whip, and he's got a long range whip too. So the implications are pretty direct in what the role that these guys played. I mean, he had two of these lizard mining men up here, and they were throwing rocks while he stood here. So likely they were throwing rocks at me on his command. That's a safe bet. Other than that, I can't see too much more other than the fact that he is indeed fat. Classic bit of old European symbolism, but it actually meant like a sign of prosperity, good fortune, and success back then. I remember reading about that once. I think in like high school that it was like sometimes people in good power were depicted as a bit fatter in the art they had painted of themselves because, well, back then when food was not as easily obtained, it was considered something of a sign to be big like this, to have enough to even get to this size, to be able to eat like that. The one other thing about these guys is their face, and they look very weird. Now, this could be a result of their gluttonous consumption of souls. Seems very likely for someone in this position of power that can do whatever they wish to people wearing loincloths. Why this happened to his face, I can't say for certain. There was a big wondering back in the day. Oh, you can still see his little swatch thing. There was a big curiosity about whether these guys were wearing masks back in the day, from what I understand. I don't think they're masks, but I think there is an intentional, like, it's supposed to make you think, like, is that a mask? Because their faces stay that way as they perish, of course. One other thing we can see is a little key ring, a little key belt. But other than that big tuchus and the dab that he's doing right now, that's all we got. So, that elevator noise is really starting to grate on me. But, let's get a little soul here. And pick up a crushing battle axe +1 that we will not be using because it sucks in this region. Now this upstairs room, this could serve as both another sort of watch post, like we can see a lot more over here now. A bit of a watch post for the entryway to the mining town, as the Filthy Man called it. This can also double as like easy storage, and I mean that's how they're using it, as firewood, construction wood for the makeshift platforms, boxes, bins, and barrels, the whole usual rigmarole. And more importantly, we can see all this stuff over here now. So we can see more of this sort of outpost town. See some houses, I believe. Another bridge over there, and a tall building. Not in great state, but it is a tall building. This might be a church or just like a hub of activity, like a miners' guild type thing that looks like it's in complete disrepair. If anything, it almost looks like these guys just haven't gone back home in a while. And as we saw, or as we read in the description, that very well may be the case, in that they've gone soul starved. All they may know anymore is mine, mine, mine. Trying so hard not to sing a little Minecraft fan song right now. Another little outpost tower up there of some kind. Another one in the distance there. It's pretty hard to see because of the canyon mist and dust. Little structure up there, but nothing too much overall. Nothing too much more. And then here's the pile of rocks they were throwing from. Bastards. Pretty strong to be just yucking rocks at me like that, but you know, not too much of a surprise. If you're a miner, you've been at it for a long time, I'm sure those hands are calloused, and I'm sure those back muscles are off the charts. Seeing a lot of elevators of this nature, and that makes sense versus stairs because, man, rocks are heavy. Believe it or not. I'm guessing that these were quick and easy ways to transport materials through a zone. And we got a little stone of ephemeral. Ephemeral, I gotta say it like the Google lady when pronouncing it. Oh, there's more. No, I think we saw that stuff before. But yes, this for easy transporting of rocks. This makes sense. Now going down there, maybe this platform kind of went down into the valley before, towards that river. Maybe an easier way to make it back into town. Not sure. Anyways, back out here. This gate just blown open. Maybe by previous demon slayers to me that came here and were trying to get in. Or, I don't know, wear and tear with time. I'm not sure what would have blown this open. Maybe the fat officials that we saw, since we saw them in Boletaria first. Maybe they weren't originally running this place. Maybe this was originally a more independent mining operation of Boletaria. You know, there's the Burrow King, whoever that was, and fat officials are, you know, I don't know, safe assumption, I think, that they're under or they were following the lead of King Allant, or whatever king was present at the time. So maybe the reason this is bursted open in this way is at some point Boletaria came in and asserted dominance, if you will. Out here, just more supplies, more delivery carts. We found a little sticky white stuff, as they call it. Very awesome name. A sticky white wax-like substance. Apply it to the right hand for a magical effect. It is said to be the waste product of a magical slug that bathed in fluorescent water. Now, why that would be here, I don't know. I suppose, at least in terms of game design, I'm pretty certain it's here because of the whole these enemies are weak to magic, and maybe they want you, even if you're not a magic player, to be able to test that just to see. Because it is true, trust me, I've been through here with a magic weapon before, and yeah, it works. It works. Huh, got a pretty big room here. Again, very storage focused, but I mean there's going to be a lot of storage going on in a mine with how much is retrieved and sent back up to the top of the mine. However, this is very high up in the mine, and so it is a little interesting that these guys are here, and well, this guy's mining away. Maybe that's a result of being soul-starved. He doesn't even know where he is. He's just mining. But they do have some piles of, like, gathered stone, gravel, whatever that is, that they're sifting through for whatever materials they could find. You can also see the gold eyes, the lizard eyes, that are a bit more obvious here than they were on the dead one. So they actually delight on death. Not delight, like they fade on death. Let's put these poor saps out of their misery. Don't worry, guys. Shh. There's a big, lovely mine on the horizon where you can mine in peace, completely comfortable and happy, no discomfort. You'll find your way there, don't worry, always. We can see a spare ladder, or I don't know, this could also be like a rail cart track. But either way, this is a big room. I do find it interesting that they're chipping away in here, and I guess it's that whatever this is brought up from the lower levels. Either that, or they're just so lost. That's all they know. All right, let's keep delving in. Quite the big room. We're in the mountain itself now that we saw outside. Although, man, this is a lot more hollow than you might expect of a mountain. The only thing I can think of is that maybe, however this was opened up, was with the assistance of soul power, because, man, this is really hollowed out. I'm no expert on real life caves and caverns and such. Not sure if this can happen in real life, but here we are. We're in it, so it can happen in this universe, that's for sure. See, that guy was just playing with some bricks. I don't even think he knows what he's doing. Oh. See? We got a bag boy. And a punch boy. Okay, it's not a one-shot. Hello, bagman. Can I parry your bag? I can't. Sorry, I'm gonna have to get that bag from you. Because look at those. Look at all those goodies. Now, I've already done a lot for these weapons, and so it's not super useful to me, but for a new player who is of physical damage, whew, this place is like heaven. And we've got some barrels blocking a door, and some horrible things behind them. Guard dogs. Thankfully, with the beautiful advent of a shield, we can block and strike at the same time. What a awesome defensive mechanic. And what a dog destroyer. And behind those dogs, you had another fat official. So these were definitely, these were his hounds, as they might say. Some of them keep all these guys in mind, or in line. I'm in a mine as well, both in line and in a mine. The one fat official we saw up there only had the 2 guys with him. Easy enough for him to manage, but there was a lot of guys here, so the idea that the fat official had some dogs in support, well, that makes sense. That's smart on his part. You've got these things, which... Is there another guy? Got these things, which... I don't know what these are called, but I believe they're like the tool that they use to sift through water, or I guess minerals in mines. What is making all these gross noises? Like in kind of like in gold hunting, they would use something like this for riverbeds. I mean, like sifting for gold's like the old-fashioned way, but I don't know if it's exactly the same. But if I had to guess its purpose, more dead horses. But here we actually have a little feeding or water thing for them, as well as a horse rack, a bike rack of the old age. More supplies, more minerals, more wheelbarrows, even though... Oh, those are... Well, pretend those aren't floating. It's probably for the best. Supplies, horses, mine carts, a caved-in entrance over here. Might have gone somewhere else at some point, but upkeep is not exactly high on the priority list around here, it seems. Hello again. That was bad. Get poked. Get parried. He's like a big, it's like a big balloon that I can keep poking. Just. If I had a mallet, it would be more like a pinata, but that works. Man, he looks like he's praising the sun. Again, another storage room. There's actually a little chair and desk in here, so maybe this is like kind of like an office for this guy, where he can manage his quote-unquote workforce, if you want to call it that. Get a few more minerals. Chunk of hardstone, much bigger one. Mostly it's the same description on that, but we got clear stone for the first time, and this right here, this is what I'm after. I would like to make our straight sword quality. That is why I'm keeping our strength and dex even. It's my favorite kind of infusion in this game at the very least. And it will also allow us to show off the movesets of a great many weapons. But anyways, Shard of Clearstone. A shard of crystallized white ore capable of enhancing a variety of weapons. An ore which requires skill and expertise to make high quality weapons with. And there you go. And the battle axe, of course. A standard axe. It is a versatile weapon with a standard attack type, reliable against many opponents. Following through with one swing, yeah, the direct hit thing, we've read that before. I think that's it. I think that's all the new stuff we've gotten for now. I don't think the fat official could get through that door. Hey, hey, hey. Well, you're not supposed to be here yet. This little guy here thinks he's got the one up on me. You don't even know. You don't even know I'm here. They love doing these things, especially in the early areas of the game, leaving a guy right around the corner as a trap. But, you know, if you're playing defensively and cautiously... Ow! I had to speak. I had to open my mouth. I had to tempt fate. Ugh. Well, we almost did it, folks. That was almost clean cut. We got these tight little hallways here. Not 100% sure purposes behind this. Maybe this wasn't... Maybe this didn't lead to an uncovered mine, part of the mine at some point. This was just a fully enclosed structure. Again, for storage. We've got lots of mine carts, firewood, and flour, and so on and so forth. Now what I'm looking at here, is this a trap? Feels like one. And yet it is not. Thank you for the croissant. Croissant moon. What about here? Still not a trap. And we got ourselves a pickaxe, which we have already read. Alright. Nice. Now we ascend to the higher portion of this area. Again, there's a lot of enemies here. I'm gonna focus on killing first. This right here looks like a chimney, like a smokestack, but it I don't know that it leads to anything, so maybe this is just a very rudimentary, like, torch of some kind. Hard to say. Let's get this man. Ouch. 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 Oh, got it. Another Fatat official. Now. There we go. Don't fall off! Don't fall off! No! Okay. Well. That's fine. Let's clear out some enemies before we talk some more. Before we get back to yapping. Another bag boy. Give me your goods, bag boy. That's pretty good. Got these guys here. Another bag boy. Give me. Yes! Clear stone. That's what we're looking for. Cut down here real quick. Little soul of soldier. Bag boy. Regular man. Damn it. Give me more clear stone. I need more clear stone. Regular men. We'll free them of their internships so they can move on to better opportunities. Oh, you do! Oh, I was a little tricky. You were sneaking up on me there, big guy. Your quiet little lizard feet. Cross this bridge. Get the. Ooh, we'll talk about that in a minute. Just wanna make it nice. Oh, the second R2 doesn't do as much. Don't fall off! Don't fall off! Oh, good job. Alright, we are in the clear. Okay, let's start from the beginning. before we started. That'll make things simplest. Actually, we gotta go down if we're gonna do that. Back through this weird little structure. To this outer wooden platform. I wonder if these wooden platforms were always in use like this, or if this originally led to something else. I don't see any signs of like a stone thing having collapsed, but there is this right here, this whatever this may have been. Maybe this is incomplete. Maybe this was in the middle of construction, but not sure what it could have been. We actually have 2 smokestacks. I forgot about that a little bit. And then we have an unsteady bridge. I knew the running path, so I was able to stay on it to deal with the fat official first and foremost. Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me right now? Again, every time I open my mouth, if I say a thing about the game that I can do, the game is gonna be like, are you sure about that? Are you sure? Drops me off like a sack of potatoes. A sack of proletarian grown potatoes. Now don't knock me off again. Don't do that. Little hero soul. So this platform's a little weird. Positionally, I like it in the sense that this fat official has a good view of the landscape here. Great view for looking at his workers and making sure they're going, even though these guys were literally mining the ceiling of a man-made structure over here. It's kind of funny. Oh, I missed an item over there. Whoops. The funny thing to me about this platform is the Minecraft torch placement going on here. This in particular is like, what are you doing? Why'd you put these so close to each other? I guess maybe the idea is, I don't think this is intentional, but if I were to make up a little lore here, this platform didn't exist before, and this used to be a torch just for this area, and then the platform was built as the fat officials took over, so that they had a nice vantage point or something like that, where they could both bark out orders and keep a close eye on all their guys. Start timing those bathroom breaks, you know. Don't want to. Can't be over 2 minutes. 2 minutes is a bit. You don't need more than 2 minutes in the bathroom, do you? Now over here we can see a lot, like a lot. Where the bridge would have dropped us down is this little this section that's just a mess of stuff. Bunch of stacked mine carts. This seems like it would be ridiculously hard to do, even with a bunch of strong people. These are so heavy. But, you know, to each their own. I guess they wanted to do it. Maybe they did this while soul starved, because I don't know what sane person would do that. What this thing is? This is kind of like actually looks like maybe there was a bit of a collapse or a spill here. I don't know what this material is meant to represent, and maybe this platform was already here and this stuff ended up on top of it. I'm not sure, because it's stone over here, but it's wood right here. Hard to say. It could just be with gameplay elements in mind first, of like not being able to climb up the hill, having to go around the long way first. Oh, we can see behind this door a little bit. Okay, so this was definitely like some kind of collapse of some kind, because this led to a place at one point that is now a mound of soot and gravel. I'm not sure, but not sure how that collapse went about. But it's a mine. I mean, where can't a collapse happen? Let's be real. Now over here, there's a lot of stuff. So, got a platform up here of some kind. I don't think any of these are areas we will be going to. Oh, it's kind of hard to see. You can see some difficult to discern. Maybe it's a little easier just without the binoculars, to be honest. You can see some mining structures, more wooden platforms, stone stairways, torches, still lit, so it's still active to some degree. But we don't see any enemies, we don't see any items, so maybe this is just like an abandoned part of the mine, possibly because of this cave-in. Maybe that's why they can't make their way over there anymore. And maybe the soul-starved men over there are long dead because of it. Either way. Some pretty big structures here. High ceiling. And an item I forgot to pick up because I'm a noob. Grindstone. I don't care about a grindstone. I'm grinding every day. I don't need a stone to grind for me. Now you might recall I'm not online. I can't be online. Yet there is a ghost here. A ghost man. Pulling this lever. This is a little piece of game design. Since there's no torch, there's no lighting, nothing directly indicating this thing other than how it visually appears. This ghost is definitely here for the less observant player. And I think that's all good. I think that's good because these games are stressful on a first playthrough. These games are very stressful, especially if, not only if it's your first playthrough, but if it's your first playthrough of a FromSoft game in general. And so just little things like this for new players I really appreciate. So we will pull it as the ghost developer has instructed us. There we go, and that's our way forward. That also started a big, I don't know if it's a water wheel. We're gonna have to get a closer look at it to tell actually. Let's go do that. What in tarnation? How did you get up there? Oh. And we're back. It's cool, the echo audio effects. I haven't talked about it in a previous episode, I don't think. But the, like, audio of mine becoming echoed or reverbed as I'm entering, like, a tight tunnel space or an enclosed space of some kind. It's a surprising level of like detail, like audio detail for a game of this era. That's a lot of work to make a echoed version of like so many sound effects, but very cool. So this both activated this not a water wheel, I don't know, something. And opened a gate for us, which, bit of a weird position for the lever. I suppose, actually no, that makes more sense, that this was something part of the original construction of this place and an easy location for the miners to reach. And because I was gonna say like maybe it would make more sense if it was on the Fat Official platform or in the Fat Official like office down there, at least from a lore perspective, not a game design one. But it actually makes more sense that it was down there. And this one can keep a close enough eye on it, just peering over the ledge if anyone seems like they're dicking around when they shouldn't be. This is enclosed for some reason. Maybe this is to stop people from getting too close to this thing and getting OSHA violated. But anyways, it is pulling these bins, these boxes. Oh, they're open on one side. That is so weird. Okay, so this would be pulling something from this way and dumping it here. Now, what it would be dumping and why it would be dumping it, not sure. Maybe this was some kind of way to like more easily transport materials. They would, before this was gated, I suppose they would dump them here, and that would be something for the miners of the upper region to sift through to look for goods. Because to me this ringed like a water wheel or something that carries water, but the way it like dumps it out like that, maybe that's not the intention. And maybe these are supposed to be closed, but because no one is actually running this thing, they're just open topped and they would just be spilling their shit everywhere. Can't say, but it is an interesting thing, that's for sure. I don't know if that's a weird shadow or if that's like a wood pole and there's like a bit of a mining structure up there, but we can definitely see this tower, that's for sure. Other than that, we've just got the roof of the cavern, or the mountain. So let's head on. We can see that these things go through like an underground tunnel of sorts, but where that leads, I don't know that we'll get another good viewpoint of it, so. Can't say for certain what it's supposed to represent. Another little fog wall. Ah, see, there's a water wheel if I've seen one. And then there's the carts going from this way. Some more wooden structures and carts. And we got ourselves a hot little gecko. And I think they're called lizards, like fire lizard, but I mean, this is a gecko to me. Like, oh, he fell over. Oh, poor thing. This shit looks like a Pokemon to me. Especially since he glows so brightly after death. Cute little lizard eyes. And like a very fleshy body. I guess because he's always warm. He's always emitting, like, absurd amounts of fire. Pretty cute though, he's pretty cute. But he does remind me a lot in design of the crystal lizards, and I wonder if it's like a relative of them in like species or what have you. Oh, that's an uncomfortable position. Sorry, buddy. Shard of Meltstone. We'll keep moving forward for the moment before reading any items. So we can see the other side of this. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what these would be used for initially, because it seems like it's just this short little loop. I can't say what purpose this could serve. Maybe it's like this water wheel, where it would... I don't see any way for this to get water unless down there. I don't know. I have no clue what this thing could do. Some kind of mining equipment. And hey, maybe I'm not a miner. Well, yeah, I'm an adult, but I'm also not a miner. M-I-N-E-R. But maybe there's a real piece of mining equipment that resembles this, and does serve a purpose. Either way, water wheel, understandable enough, could help power some of the elevator structures around here. Could also serve as a way of cooling things down or supplying water to miners. It could be any of those things, really. We're moving upward in the mine. Not something you would expect. I know you're not supposed to mine up, at least unless you're being very careful. But these structures are quite tall. And the theme of haphazardly constructed wooden platforms to interconnect them seems to be regular. I do think this could be like a post-Scourge thing in the hopes of restoring the mine to its initial status. You can see this thing that deposits the water has two like water lines, or they're not pipes, they're made of wood, but they serve the purpose of water lines, and they both lead to the wheel. So there's some kind of reserve they're pulling water from, like a spring or something. The river may be up in the mountain, or something like that, to get this water supply from. And I'm guessing as it goes down this way, it's got to make its way back to that water somewhere. See some more gears. I can see an enemy back there. Alright, anyways. Quite a few geckos in this room. Let's approach this very carefully. Do I have a throwable? Ooh, I have some throwing knives. That will do. Nice. Should pull these over one at a time. It's more reasonable to deal with. This is an easy death spot if you're not careful. You can get very overwhelmed and trapped by these guys. A congested little spot on the other side of these rails, and they will tear you up. That's another one. Sorry, I hear my cat fidgeting around over there. I don't know what he's messing with. Take a little anti-gecko knife. Coat it in Raid. Hope it actually does something. Use the spear to finish off anything the knife can't do. And there we are. A safe execution of this room. This is like a furnace room of some kind, a room for smelting, I suppose. I suppose maybe they are smelting down materials as they go to speed up the process. I mean, we saw some blacksmiths in the Archstone logo of this area, so maybe we will see that this place... Hey! Stop playing around with that. Maybe we will meet... We did hear a blacksmith, or at least what sounded like one earlier as well, so maybe we will run into active production in this facility as well. I'm going to leave these geckos be, because they didn't bother me, and they're just chilling in their ideal space. I'm guessing that's supposed to portray lava. A little unclear by the visual, but I definitely think that's lava. I don't think that's just a big fire pit. Fired. I'm gonna take a quick break real quick. Alright. As for this room, before we move on, let's see that there is some kind of chimney. Can I actually... Oh. Yeah, you can kind of see it. We'll get a better view when we... I mean, you can see an item up there, so you know we're gonna be up there. get a better view of it up close, but it does have a chimney stack. And then, something I was thinking about, all these lizards, they remind me of heat leeches from Subnautica, if you've ever played that. But besides being made of fire, you know, with their ability to be on fire, I suppose there's a chance that they survive off of, like, thermal energy and maybe, like, asexually reproduce or something like that. Which is why they're attracted to heat sources like that, like this. And they were probably a big pain in the ass for the miners back when this place was in working order, especially in places like this where they're storing lava. It looks like lava. I'm pretty sure it's lava or like magma or whatever. How this room was used, maybe they would like lower things into it with like chains to heat things up. I don't know. Maybe this is just a storage for lava. I know it sounds kind of silly. Or maybe this is like some kind of outflow. Like there's a connection down below the lava we can't see where this sort of thing will flow to as like a way to keep it away from important areas. But not sure. And then there's this, which is... it looks different on the recording, I can see, but for me this is very like, the smoke is kind of like popping in and out, probably because of the frame rate stuff. It's definitely lava, and maybe something isn't working about the outflow, which would normally store it in a like safer place like this, either for use or just to get it out of the way. And it's all ended up here in this area that was definitely meant to be walkable based on this little staircase. But we'll be back. It is kind of funny that these wood supports are not bursting into flames. But it does look like the water could cut this way if like the track is switched. So you can see that little opening panel, which is what feeds it onto the water wheel. So maybe this is something that happened on the regular, and this was like a counter to it. Now I don't know that water would actually... I don't know that water could actually stop magma, but perhaps it will in this game. Here we have some miner boys with a unique weapon type. It is like a heated up, broken broadsword, straight sword of some kind. Definitely deals fire damage if I were to get hit by that, but I don't know, I'm too getting hit. It's like, what a silly concept, you know? Especially when I can just poke these guys like a big angry porcupine. But yeah, just same guys, they just have a more... It actually looks like a claymore, kind of. Oh yeah, keep rolling down the stairs. What a beautiful death pose, actually. He looks like he's chilling. But I guess it's like a last-ditch effort to deal more damage, question mark? They heated up their swords. Just for me. Just for me. And here, we see a little... We're not going in that yet. Quite yet. A little secondary exit to the mine. A boy with a hammer for once. Doesn't make any difference. You're carrying goodies. I won't. Go to the big mine in the sky. You'll be better off there. Now please, some clear stone would be... Okay, well... I should stop saying it before I grab it, you know? So, we have an exit here. It's the mine. An even better view of the Outer Lands. In fact, I couldn't really see this structure at all before, but this is another... Maybe this was more of one whole city at one point, because it's all kind of disconnected a bit. But this one looks like a much bigger structure. I don't know if the Burrow King, if this was kind of like his kingdom here, and the mine was just the crowning achievement of it, and he ruled from the town, or if he was in the mines himself. He was on the front lines. He didn't look like a little pampered royal. He looked like he definitely looked like a fighter. So, who's to say? Maybe we'll get some item descriptions on the old Burrow King. That would be cool. But finally, we can access this lift to make our life a little easier if we were dying, but we're not doing that, so it doesn't really matter too much. I do wonder if this was perhaps the original entrance to the mine and the other one was constructed later, or the other way around. This was just another way to get to a later part of it easier. But either way, it works in our favor, that's for sure. Now. That little bit of lighting might be broken right there. But anyways, this is a smith. This is a smith's room indeed. All kinds of tools, all kinds of weapons. Even got some mounted on the walls there, maybe ones he's proud of, behind a little what is that called when you put a big fancy carpet on the wall? A drape. There's a different word for it that's evading me right now. Anvil, those little tong thingies, bunch of straight swords, falchion, spear, axe, smaller axe, shovels, big axe, morning star, a pitchfork, and a hoe or a trough. I think that's a trough. This big, this thing is for stoking the flames. I don't know what it's called though, but I know it would stoke those flames for him, which would be very helpful. And a bed, a straight up bed. I was sleeping in here. Pickaxe, shovel, and another furnace of some kind. So I suppose those two would serve different purposes. And again, I don't know enough about smithing to say a goddamn thing about it. And we'll talk to him in a second. Let's look out here. This room is interesting to me, that this is broken off like this. This structure used to be bigger, and maybe mining that made the valley a bit more unstable as a whole caused like a bit of a collapse here, and this used to be another room he could work with, which is why this one is, well, it's not that cramped in here, but he's got everything he would need in here, and maybe that was another room for him at some point. But anyways, like we were saying, we have a smith employed at the mine, so they weren't just mining here, they were also making weapons. That might also explain all the wood being pulled in for like handles and such. But anyways, he is working on a long sword, I believe. Very respectable. And he looks very much like Baldwin. Smaller beard, I think, and a similar outfit, but what you may have already noticed is that, like our miner boys, he's very scaled up. And if anything, he's more scaled up than the miners we found. Now, again, we don't know much about why this is the case, but we know especially this guy. He was human at one point. The other guys, it was in question, but Baldwin, or what is it? This is Ed, right? I think. He must have been human at one point. We don't know anything about a scale race, except for the filthy man referring to these as the lizard-eyed folk. So, perhaps something is causing this. Maybe it has to do with smithing and the act of smithing itself, or maybe being in this region. Maybe it's some kind of weird side effect of the scourge. We don't know yet. But anyways, let's talk to him.
I haven't seen you around these parts. What does it matter? You need a blacksmith, show me some coin. If not, head straight for the door.
Excuse me, sir. You don't have a door? Unless you're talking about the one that leads to the broken room and you're telling me to walk off a cliff. But, Blacksmith Ed.
I'm busy. I'm not here to chit-chat. Forging a weapon strengthens it, alters its character. Ores are transmogrified sprites. Their presence blesses the weapon.
Okay, okay.
Ores are transmogrified.
Okay. He really doesn't want to talk much. Let's... Oh boy, here we go. First of all, please make this a normal mace for me. Thank you. No longer blessed. And our long sword can become a quality long sword. So, we're gonna take a little bit of a damage hit, that's for sure. Because our stats aren't all up there yet, and it's also not like a high level quality sword. That's something I'll probably do in between streams again, is try to get this to the highest quality level I can, if that is allowed. I actually don't know if I can get Clearstone without moving further into 2-2, so we'll see. But anyways, there we are, a quality longsword. And we can take it up to 2+ for now. That'll be the limit. We'll need 6 more Clearstone from there, and look, it jumps to C, and C, what a beautiful thing, what a beautiful thing. Will you talk to me more now that I've upgraded with you a bit?
Ores are transmogrified sprites. Their presence blesses the weapon.
Ah, yes, of course. What? As for the spear, I'm thinking about... keeping the spear standard upgrade path. Just because I don't want to dig into our Clearstone usage for the sword, because the long sword is the important one I want quality. And I don't think I could do like a sharp winged spear, so let's keep pushing it along the normal path. No, hey, listen to me. Ooh, we can go far. 7+, look at that. Moon-winged spear, that would be a magical winged spear. And we'll need more large sharpstone for 7+. And then as for the mace, that's hard stone. A crushing mace. Well, I mean, that would just be better. Alright, if that's the case, I think we may wait on the mace and actually go down the crushing path once Greystone is available to us. But for now, we'll leave it as is. We don't need it yet anyway, so that's fine. The kite shield. Ooh, I can take it to 7+. That is kind of what I want. Interesting. Yeah, we're not going to use hardstone for the mace. We're going to be using greystone, so might as well go kite shield 7+, yeah? Alright. Well. We are upgraded.
Ores are
Alright, buddy.
all done? Let me go. I'll work alone.
Yeah, I can tell. You don't got anything else to say, though?
What be your need? If it be a blacksmith, Then show me some coin.
Yeah.
If not,
I
head
get it.
straight for the
I get
door.
it.
Doors are
Alright. Alright, that's all he's got to say for the time being. So let's head back up. We got a few items I don't think we took a look at yet. I also do have a lot of stuff. I'm kind of tempted to go back to the Nexus and do a little drop off, but we got some dragon stone. A shard of dragon bone fossilized by lava. Enhances straight swords, axes, hammers, and so on. An ore that applies the power of fire to a weapon. Weapons can be strengthened with dragon stones to a maximum level of 5. So dragon stone. It's made of fossilized dragon bones. So there's lots of dead dragons here, it seems. Or at least enough for some of that stuff to be available. I already read these. Yeah. And we haven't got any rings, I don't think. Or anything new here. Okay, let's make a quick little trip back to the Nexus. Maybe Baldwin will have something to say about us meeting Ed. I would be curious.
I can forge weapons for you.
Yeah, I know, bud.
Well, old Ed's still up to his old strange ways. Isn't he? Even the demons don't know what to do with him, huh? No such thing.
Oh, jeez, man. Okay.
Back in my younger years, I had the strength of an ox.
I believe it.
The miners would always ask me to clear out the bear bugs, which I tunneled with my bare hands. But even I couldn't beat them. So I lobbed them into the lava pits.
Oh, he's so happy to be reminiscing. This is the most joyous he's been.
Pretty strong myself. But even I don't compare to old Ed. That's a beast, I tell you. Man
Beast.
must eat dragon tails and wishing stones. If you heed my advice, you'll avoid crossing him.
Oh, I don't plan on it.
I reckon he'd prove a lot more trouble than most demons.
Yeah, I need his craft. He's good. He's good. He knows more than you, or he has access to more tools than you do.
Deep inside Stonefang Mine is an ancient dragon burial ground.
Oh,
The bones of the dragons exude.
we read about that. Yes.
Deep inside Stonefang, the
Okay.
bones of the...
Interesting. So he knows. He knows about that stuff. Alright.
No interest, eh? I can tell
Yeah.
you look it up.
Hey, Thomas.
Hello again. I'm keeping a close watch on your belongings.
Yeah. We know. You haven't failed me yet, Tommy boy. And I don't think you will. Take this, and... Don't need these, really. We're good.
You have a heart of gold. Don't let them take it from you.
You don't say. I don't think anyone else would have unique dialogue for us coming back from Stonefang. Not until we've killed a boss, I don't think. So we'll wait to talk to these guys until we have finished 2-1. Our spear is 171. It's pretty up there. 177 will two-handing, so it's better to one-hand in general. And because I farmed off screen, we do not have the points for a level up. So let's get back into it. Okay, the lizard is still gone, so don't have to worry about that. I knew this spear was a good idea for this area. It's really putting in the work. Quite happy with it. Quite happy with it. It's got a nice reach to it too. It's not. There's another early spear we could have gotten. I don't think we picked up one, but the enemies in 1.1 and 1.2 can drop it. It's like a short spear. Definitely more happy to have this one. Still not a one-shot though, huh? I thought that was quite a bit of a... Oh. Okay, if you do counter damage, then it's a one-shot. Oh! Oh man. This is a weapon I really wanted. But I didn't want to come here early for it. Oh, this thing is so cool. And heavy. It's got quite a nice moveset. It does. Oh, I forgot. I knew they could drop it. I just didn't think I'd get one. A pole weapon with hard protrusion. Pole weapons can mow down many targets in a single blow, but are difficult to handle and require both strength and dexterity to use. Well, good for me, huh? Murd, now long lost, is the name of an area where the first temples were built. So this weapon holds a special meaning among priests. This thing just... it looks cool. I do like the movesets of, like, these sorts of things later, a bit more, like in later games. I think, like, the Lucerne would in like, Dark Souls 1. This is, like, this game's equivalent of the Lucerne. But, man, I quite like this weapon. So maybe this is something I'll also upgrade off-screen now that I think I can farm for materials here. I think I should be able to. But we were fat rolling with that, even with this equip load ring on, so I'm gonna need some more endurance if I really want to build that. Hey buddies. I wish I could see over this board that keeps appearing above my head. Yeah, a little bit of fire damage. Miner down. Through the fog. Up the stairs. Surprise attack. Poke attack. Riveting commentary. Normal working man. Dead man. Dead man. Pickaxe man. Lock onto him, please. Parried man. Lots of miners at work in here. One more. Alright, so this room is, it's got the same kind of smith furnaces that Ed had. And lots of weapons, lots of tools. So Ed was not the only person making weapons here, that is for sure. Back when these guys were sane, it looks like they were doing the same. It's a lot of tongs. It feels like, I don't know, do you need that many tongs for smithing? But we can see some weapons. A little longsword barrel here. That's another longsword, I think. There's a falchion. Short and long swords. That's the mix I'm seeing that makes them look a little bit different in size. A large hardstone shard. All these have chimneys that run up. Oh, and I'm fighting off a sneeze again. I took my allergy medicine this morning, so that is annoying that it's not really helping out. Oh, the lizard. Fuck. Hi. How did you see me? I'm so nervous about getting this lizard. I don't want to miss it. I need all the lizards from this area really badly. Okay. Oh, get out of the way! They're throwing rocks at me. Ooh. Alright, we got it. Easy. Easy peasy, right? Okay, I don't actually think I got much of what I need. I got spider stone. Yeah, it's for bows. It's not really super important to us. I don't think we'll need it for our bow, basically. And then there's this little trap. Too quick. Gotta be quicker than that. Great club and some souls. This kind of looks like a disposal of bodies kind of spot, although it's weird that they were here across this little shoddy bridge, unless they were being thrown down from above or something. Let's head back down. We're back to like the slightly earlier area, not too far from where we were, thankfully. Alright, there we are. Back through the workshop. You can see some more structures here, but I don't think we're seeing anything we haven't seen before. It's a better view of the chimney of the big lava furnace thingy, with some more lava lizards, and fire geckos, whatever, clinging to the sides of it. I mean, it's probably very warm, so that makes sense. Let's keep moving. A bunch of explosive Epineudian barrels, for some reason. I guess those are for mining. Or maybe those are like actually collected like explosive materials of some kind. Got some little support structures here that let up the wall a bit that look like they're in disrepair and not really in use. Better view of the lava pit and some of the areas to come. A little bit of grass, and a drop down. There are our rock throwers. That is a very dangerous, a surprisingly dangerous group of enemies over there. But we are going to need to mess with them. So let's get aggressive. Ooh, nice. That was satisfying. That was satisfying. I want to try a bug I learned about when I have one guy left. Okay, this should work. Hit me. Hold on. Yep, there it is. So if you parry someone and then do a running R1, they still receive that parry animation and damage, but you do like a running attack past them instead, which looks very, very funny. I love the way that looks. It's so silly. Alright. These boys here, they have more rocks for us to chuck, so they always make sure to give them the rocks when they're gonna throw them at me. Just for posterity. All these bouncy boys here now is all that's left. Just above our little shortcut there. We also picked up a steel shield and a great club, which I'll remember to take a look at shortly. But now we're moving up to the platform surrounding the chimney, with some fire lizards waiting for us. Come on down, buddy. You too. I mean, I meant U2TOO, but TWO, that also works too. Or TRIO, trio of lizards. Oh, God damn it. What's the 5 one? A Pentio? Oh, we've already got dogs up after us. I did not think they would come up that quickly. No, not telescope. Get out. He's trying to eat. I'm scared of dogs. Wow, maybe I shouldn't be scared of dogs. That was pretty pathetic. Doggies. There's always more than one. Poke. Just gotta give him a little poke. Poke. This toothpick is putting in work. Little lizard fell down here. This looks like an appropriate way they would store shit after going soul-starved and mad. But as for this, the layout of this up here, this little guardrail around the edge of the chimney, I'm guessing maybe this might be another fat official kind of thing. It's a place for them to look down upon the workers and, you know, as we said before, time, bathroom breaks, all that lovely stuff that quote-unquote managers do. And we've got some kind of structure here that we have not been in yet. And a pathway over there. That's interesting. You can see more structures can't reach in distance. Just more flavor for the area, distant mining structures. Nothing super new to see, a lot more of the same, but consistent in the area theme and design. So it's just nice to every little detail contributes to that feeling that you are indeed kind of raiding a mine that wasn't even really ready to defend itself from you. It's just you're here now, and so now they got to deal with you. We can see the waterway here, and interestingly, we can see where it leads. It's kind of hard to tell, but I know that there is a hole in the wall for this to travel through, leading out to, I think, like the opposite side of the mountain, like the side we didn't start on. That's a great view. But the water is being pulled from outside. And then there's some more mining structures on the lowdown. As well as some inactive gears over here. Down we go. Ouch. I'm supposed to poke you, not the other way around. Poke. Who else is here? Poke. Poke. And poke. Yes, more clear stone. More soul. Hero soul. Cart with things in it. Destroyed cart without things in it. A little drop there. Glad to see they're keeping up with the OSHA standards with all these guardrails, though. Surprisingly safe-minded for miners. Oh, I think we can see the entrance a little better over here. Yeah, little hole in the wall, an unlit torch next to it too, which seems like another one of those torches, just like a pain in the ass to light that thing. You have to do it like fire arrow or something. And then you'd have to replace the torch every once in a while. It's nonsense. Alright. Another device. we theorized, the water is being rerouted. Alright. Down we go, back to an earlier zone. Water wheel has stopped. And that lava is still present. This one is now cooled. Where did those lava lizards fall off the chimney? Or fire geckos? I didn't kill those guys. Wait, I must have killed them if they fell off, because they weren't here. I don't think the water killed them. The ground is still smoking, probably burning. Thankfully I am not barefoot, despite Miyazaki's better wishes. We can have a little shower. Honestly, we've been hard at work. We haven't stopped to do a little self-care. A shower. Our guy probably could really use it. Poor Vimus. Venus. I still don't know how to say the name I gave to him. Now, where the lava comes from in this area? Well, it could be here. Although, this is a very weird thing. This does look like a thing for some kind of liquid to come through, because, well, it's not openable, and there's nothing we can see behind it besides a downward path, although it coming up from a downward path is kind of interesting. I don't know if you could accomplish that with magma. But there's this guy here, very dead, with a ring of poison resistance, and a broken cage, so I'm not sure what this could serve. Maybe this is like a this is a horrific idea, but like an execution spot, and this used to be enclosed and they would throw a person in here. I don't know, it seems cruel as hell, seems kind of unnecessary for a mine, but in this world you never really know. And there's someone tried to climb out, someone that failed to. Or people that fell in. Who can say? On we go. The side building, we saw this from the chimney originally, but now we've reached it. And a room full of video games. Go ahead. Go ahead. Clear it up for me. I'm not going in there until all that shit's gone. Don't. You're crazy if you think I'll do that. Hey. Hey. You. Bro. You good? Oh. There we go. Mostly cleared out. Ouch. Kinda hurt. A little more grass. Oh, camera, please. Lots of explosives in this room, which this was definitely not originally a storage room, because right here we can see some beds. Triple stacked. Look how close that last guy would be to the ceiling. It's crazy. But the fact that these are here, there's even a little ladder for the beds. Little bunk beds. Triple bunk beds. It's a really good idea. It makes so much more room for activities, like putting explosive barrels everywhere and trying to blow up anyone that comes in here with your fire magic, because you're a fat bastard official. Maybe, yeah, I think this was like a bed chamber, and there were probably more beds in here originally, because we've seen a lot of miners. This ain't enough. Unless I guess like it was like a small night crew that would stay here while a lot of the others went back to town. Got little side tables, little buckets, either for using the bathroom or for drinking. You know, maybe they had water in them originally. But yeah. On we go into bit of a change of pace. Still on some like haphazardly constructed platforms, but leading into a different part of the mine. Over the water flow, so the water is this way, wherever that is. And webs. The webbed men, webbed lizard men, and a weird ambience. I guess maybe that's to portray like the empty ambience of like the cavern. That guy is really early. He's always early. I don't know why he does that. But now he's both early, embarrassed, and dead. But yeah, here we've got a huge view of the mine. And we can see, is that the shortcut entrance over there? There's the water. I think it is. I think it's just like partially deloaded, so it looks more open than it actually is. But I think that is our little exit. There's chimney. I just noticed there's guys on the ceiling. That guy does not look okay. And yeah. Oh, and there's the beginning section of the mine. I don't think there's any enemies over there, so I think we're good. Is this gonna block my view super hard? Yeah. But anyways, yeah, we can see there's the little bridge we ran across to get to the Fat Official, those two little smokestacks, general entrance to the mine. At least the entrance we used to get into the mine. And now we're here. And this looks like a very not in use part of the mine based on... I mean, the other parts are in disarray as well, but this place is both nobody but, like, webbed individuals. An old, giant elevator. And some platforms that don't lead anywhere. Also covered in webs. Here we have the Kreese blade and some water. Some water. I don't know. This water wheel probably... Well, you would assume it powers the lift. You can see another thing that would let out water. And the water does come from, like, below where we are, so maybe it was accessible here at one point, but I don't think this water powers this lift because it's going to work even though this water wheel is shut. So whatever this one did, maybe there was more lava to cool somewhere, but... Oh, it actually kind of goes that way a little bit. Alright, let's take this down. We are nearing the end of 2-1. Sorry, excuse me. Voice getting a little raspy. More webbed boys. Lizard boys. And a track. Okay, so this is what the railroad tracks look like. So the ones up top are definitely ladders. Little pathway over here to a unfinished mine shaft, a dead end, or maybe a collapsed one at worst. It does look like they were planning for tracks to go that way at some point, so Maybe that was trying to connect back to the outside, so they had another quick way to send minerals out. But here we have what is indeed a boss. I'm gonna go take one more short little break, and then we're gonna finish this. Alright. I don't know if this was the best weapon for this, actually. That is a lot lower damage, but I don't know that poking is the best for this guy. I think I'm gonna switch over to the quality longsword. And don't need the thief ring. So honestly, flame resist sounds pretty good to me. Alright. Oh, you can kind of see him through the thingy. Little grabbers and big evil eyes. That is a spider demon of some kind. Maybe he was smaller at first, which is why he could, I think that's like a trend, just that more demon souls seems to make these demons bigger. Or more souls in general, but maybe that's why he could come out here before and do up these guys. But then again, spiders can get through small spaces, so maybe he could still get through this tunnel and come in and do all this stuff. Though I don't think he's making these tiny webs. I think those are his or her, I guess, little spider babies. But this is a bit more intensive boss fight than the first two we've done, so I'll probably be talking less during this because I do not want to die at all. But let's get into it. Don't web me. Oh, fuck. Okay. Give me some fire. Oh, does it have to hit me? No, okay, that still should clear off the webs. Ow. Ow. That's what I wanted. That's alright damage. Oh, the poking is better. The spear would have been great here. Ooh. Went a little flying. Maybe I should try rolling that in. Are you kidding me? Oh, okay. Now he is igniting. I could use this chance to switch to the spear though. Which I will take. Because it will benefit me. The fire defense is doing wonderful here. Oop. I think in combination with our armor. Oh, it has a delayed hitbox like that? Thankfully about the... Oh, you gotta be shitting me. The web gets cleared by the flames, I believe. Ow. Alright, we're back. Do some melee attacks. Oh, he's so hard to hit. There we go. There we go. No problem. Spider slain. 5K. Small sum, small price to pay for being a spider, but nonetheless. Spider slaughtered. This originally seems like it was a railway tunnel to like this lower portion of the mine, good for transporting materials to a sizable elevator. But this room right here, there must have been a very ambitious spider living in it. That, or maybe the spider wasn't here originally, and it's not like it became a demon. It was always a demon, and it arrived here and took this place. But anyways, that is the hard demon's soul. He wasn't that difficult, so I mean, you can call him the hard demon if you want, but I mean, really, there's nothing to write home about. Let's... Oh, that crystal lizard is tempting. We're not gonna do 2-2 today, obviously. I need to... That was a pretty long recording session, and I definitely want to be full energy for 2-2 with how extensive of an area it is. But I want this crystal lizard. Come here. No, no, no. Oh, fuck. This is the worst thing that can happen. Stop it. Good, that's good, that's stuff I need. Okay, okay. Look, this is a bad idea. You get a little preview of the next area. Oh, don't die. No, 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 no. Oh, fuck. There it is, folks. The first on-screen death. Damn. That was bad. I shouldn't have done that. Shit. Damn it. Well, there goes the deathless playthrough. Ah, shit. And that means this area is going to be... I don't know if we can get this area to pure white anymore. I don't actually know. I don't know if there's a secondary opportunity like there are in some areas. So, sorry for that. We might have one option, but it might take some finagling later. Now, you guys won't mind if I do the same stupid thing again. Basically, part of the reason I want to do this is I don't want to obscure my killing of this crystal lizard. I don't want that to be off camera. But I also want to be able to come back here and do a little farming off screen. So I don't want him to... There we go. More coast. That was a much cleaner execution of that. Man, these guys get real deadly here. Man, I'm just... I didn't want a death to happen in this playthrough. I'm really bummed about that, actually. The exploding minecarts. We'll talk about them next time. What that could mean. As I go over here to collect my souls. A sad little failure. Don't worry. I mean, there was a strong chance I was going to fall off the ledge when we get to World 5 and all that wonderful stuff, so... I mean, we were bound to hurt ourselves eventually. There's no way this was going to go so smoothly. But I'm a little embarrassed. At least I was hoping at least if I was gonna die. Ow. I was hoping at least it would happen off screen. But now you all get to witness my failure. Now you can see that message. Now this thing won't respawn a third time, will it? I know I've technically killed 3 bosses now, but I don't know if that's how that works. If it's a third one, I'm gonna kill it off screen because I think I can farm these scale miners for some resources, so we'll see. We'll see about that. But anyways, that was 2-1, and that was a. I'm really bummed that I died. I'm really bummed. I'm really bummed about it. I'm gonna have to look into that. I really wanted to get it to pure white, but that's why playing in human form is so risky. Even though I get my full health bar, even over leveled, 2-2 is very tough, and so it's not too surprising. It's just a little sad. Let's see if anyone has any new dialogue. I don't think they would, but it's worth checking.
But perhaps our age will see the rise of new heroes.
Pretty sure that's the same.
Such as yourself.
Yeah, I don't feel very much like a hero right now, my guy. How about you?
Thank goodness you are safe.
Yeah, how about
I was
that?
worried sick about you.
Safe, sure.
Saints, sages, and all manner of wise men watch over the halls of this nexus. This rejuvenating sanctorium is a fine place for the slayers of demons to rest their weary bones.
I think he said this before.
I too must contribute how I can, for we are indebted to our honorable defenders. I too must...
Okay. Take these upgraded materials that I do not need. I don't think we read Spiderstone, actually. A shard of fabric-like transparent ore, mainly used to enhance bows. An ore used to make delicate bows. Chunk, very valuable pure spiderstone, mainly used to enhance bows. Well, there you go. The Chris blade. Magical weapon. A small ceremonial sword. Old runes are expertly chiseled onto the blade. Used as an aid for incantations. The wielder's magical ability increases, though he or she will suffer more magical damage. So, little spellcaster side weapon there. And then the Great Club. A large wooden club enhanced with iron spikes. Among the larger weapons which knock enemies back, this one is comparatively lighter and easier to use due to its wooden nature? I guess so. Kind of a weird thing to say. And the Steel Shield. A large-sized steel shield. It is simply made, but as a result, it has high defensive strength. And... oh, we got the poison ring, I think. Yeah. A soft ring with a deep green seal increases defense against poison. Made by, of course, Jerry and his friend Sage Freaky, the Visionary, who is known for his magical handicrafts. The design's seal is a skull, of course. That is... I didn't mean to put that away, but, I mean, we're not going to use it anyways, so... That's fine, that's fine. Alright, thanks, Thomas.
We are indebted to you, for you fight on our behalf.
Yes, I do. The Hard Demon's Soul. The soul of the demon armor spider. It radiates a strong power. Not much information there. Now, I think it's called the Hard Demon's Soul because when you look closely at it, it looks like very much... I mean, it's called the armor spider. It looks very armored. It looks like it's made of more durable material. It's not like that soft kind of look you see on like tarantulas. It looked like it had like a sheen to like an exoskeleton. I don't know much about spiders. I don't know if that's more normal and if like the softer looking spiders are kind of the abnormal, but he does live up to his name and he is able to shoot fire. Other than that, I don't really know I don't really know much about him. I don't. As for like shooting fire, it's just like, I mean, he's a demon. That's an ability he has. He can do it. Probably. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he can do that, actually, now that I think about it. Maybe there'll be some item descriptions on him? I'm not sure. What does the actual Archstone description say? Archstone of the Demon Armor Spider. The Tunnel City, below the smithing grounds of the Tunnel City, ... Below the smithing grounds lies a huge tunnel worthy of its name. It's said a dragon's grave is in the deepest part of the molten area. So I guess that is what we are heading towards. I'll pop some souls and level before we go here. 2-1, at least from a design perspective, I kind of mentioned earlier, it's like new players are likely to go to it, and as tough as it can kind of be, it is very rewarding to them, especially if they're using physical weapons, which most first-time players are going to be sticking to physical, because magic can be an intimidating thing. So I think it's good in its placement that both the first world and the second world provide you lots of opportunities for sharpstone, hardstone. This is not going to be enough for 2 levels up. I'm sure of that.
Thou seekest soul power, dost thou not?
I do.
Then touch the demon inside me.
Yes, ma'am.
I keep the candles lit and
Okay, yeah.
Soul of the mind, key to life.
Yeah, we get 1.
Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel.
Honestly, the amount of damage I took there has me worried about my durability. But anyways, let's keep the once over going.
I can forge weapons for
Make
you.
sure no more
Fair
new dialogue
price.
before we go.
Deep inside Stonefang, my bones are the...
Okay, that's the same. Stop it.
You come back alive. I need your business.
Okay, geez.
My grandfather had unusual tastes. He often visited Stonefang
Oh,
Mine, where he
interesting.
collected rocks of all shapes and sizes. Most of them had no value. But among them, he found a miracle stone shard, which he gave to me. Could this too be a sign from God?
I mean, you can interpret however you want, lady, but that sounds pretty special.
But among them, he could this
Okay.
Oh, fellow disciple.
I think you're the same.
A miracle.
Yeah.
Now come back. I am still speaking.
Not anymore.
That hardly befits an honorable warrior such as yourself.
Oh.
Oh, honorable one, I hesitate deeply.
Okay,
Will you
okay.
continue to...
Not too much new, but Blondie had some stuff. What of Magic Boy over here? I don't think he'll care until I rescue his freaky sage.
Are you begging for a magic lesson?
Hardly.
Besides, if I myself were captured, who would...
Okay.
Where are you going?
Away from you. Alright, I don't think I have enough for any more upgrades, actually. Oh, I do! Just enough. Just enough, how nice. So we'll need some more chunks for that. Nice. We're gonna wait. We need a little bit more of the large shards for this. But I think it goes up to D, or C in Dex, which is quite nice. And then there's the Mirrodin Hammer, of course. I need some more chunks for the Kite Shield.
You come back alive. I
Alright.
need your business.
Alright, well that's a session right there. Ain't that right, Estrava? Ain't that right? I'm so bummed that I died there. Oh, I was feeling so good that I hadn't died once in this playthrough yet, and I may have just ruined the tendency for that area, but... I guess maybe the reason... I mean, I got a little overzealous with that crystal lizard, but... I mean, I'm just a little bummed that it happened in 2-1. We're through 3 areas. We have many to go. We have many areas to go. And that's where I kicked the bucket for the first time. It was bad play too. It was just to a couple of guys I should have been able to roll past. But yeah, you know, that it's in the past. We can't change it now. You can't change it now. I'm just gonna have to end on a bit of a sour note. But when I come back for 2-2, I should have the weapons even more upgraded than they already are. And hopefully that will make 2-2 more manageable. It's a tough area, and if I was ever going to die, I was expecting it to be 2-2, or like any of the World 5 areas. 4-2 is also pretty rough. But of course it was 2. I mean, it was 2-2 technically, but not really. I mean, it was 2-1. I just went into it stupidly when I really shouldn't have. But enough belly aching. That's a session right there. But thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Bye bye for now.